apartment building or something like that, where we know the lender generally is going to do anywhere from 50 to 65% loan to value, some cases a little higher, but we try to keep it down lower. So we want to coach you to where that property that you're going to be investing in, it debt services itself. Most lenders will look at that property as being self-sustaining. If there is a gap that maybe that property is not producing, as much as it should, then we're going to encourage you to either work with that seller for him to take some of the risk. Maybe he's carrying a note for the difference and you're putting in a little bit of cash.
And by the way, just so we're clear, real quick, a lot of sellers will do that.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't want that taxable event,
exactly.
Right? And so a lot of sellers will do that because they want that income coming in, and say they're retiring or whatever, right? They might want that extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month or $4,000, whatever it is, $5,000, whatever it is, as income for the next 20 years.
Yeah, and I'm not a CPA, but basically they're deferring some of the capital gains too.
Exactly.
You only pay capital gains on what you collect on. But anyway, there are those opportunities that are out there. And most lenders will work with a property. All they care about, not all, but mostly they care about is that their amount that they're investing in, that 50 to 65%, is in first place. And if in a worst case scenario they have to liquidate that property, it's going to be relatively easy to get their funds back. So, and they want to make sure that you have experience at running something like that. Same thing would apply to a business. I always try to encourage people, if they, as recession hits, or you get your golden handcuffs and you have to leave the company. Most guys say, well, I've been running a medical practice. I'm a doctor and whatever, and I can't work anymore. So I decided that, hey, I found this great opportunity. I'm going to go run a postal annex. It's a franchise. I should be able to do it. Well, basically, when you try to get that type of financing, you go to the bank. You probably won't get approved because you don't have related industry experience. Well, we try to encourage them to buy an existing one. Because one, it has the existing revenue stream. It's a little easier to get the financing on. You're going to get about up to 80% financing.
So instead of going out and starting one, go buy one that's
existing. Go buy one that has an existing revenue stream in it. You understand? So you're down in it, and now you can improve on it. And and the lenders will lend on something like that, especially if you have the management experience. Some of our lenders we work with, they don't require 100% collateral on the loan. So you want to take advantage of these opportunities where you don't have to. You can leverage what you have. You don't have to save up, $500,000 to buy a building. You want to leverage the opportunities that are out there, and there's lenders out there that will work with you. Some are more conservative than others. Some take more risk than others, and we want to position you to get in that place. So I would encourage people to take a look at their portfolio as it is now, and let's see what we can do. I'm not just talking about cash on hand. Your other real estate. Maybe there's some things in your retirement that you can borrow against or leverage against. Conservatively leverage against.
Do you ever work on things like cross collateralization?
Well, yes and no. What our private money guys, they want to call it a private money or a hard money lender, where they basically want to see the asset. They can cross collateralize properties, but essentially it's going to be what the purpose of the funds you're going to be using it for. So, and the general rule with those guys, they typically are going to lend up to 50%, and they want to be in first position. Their goal is not to. They want you to get into the property, but they want you to exit out of that loan. At least the ones we work with. They don't want you to be in one of those high-priced loans for 30 or 40 years.
So eventually it's an acquisition loan, and then you work your way into it, and you get to a point where you can qualify for a lower interest rate loan with the commercial bank, that kind of thing, where you gain that experience.
And you're investing in that property where maybe it's a property that can get improved on. We'll call it a flipper, or it's something where, hey, I don't qualify for this. It's a great property, but I get in here and I can turn the situation around after 1 or 2 years. My tax returns are looking even better. Now I can go in and get me a conventional loan.
Now, when you look at qualifying, do you take depreciation, like projected depreciation, and add it back in as an income or a write-off, that kind of thing?
Well,
we count that as an advantage?
Yeah, most lenders will take, depending on the product, most lenders will take the current depreciation. They won't necessarily, in my experience, they won't take the future depreciation and call it cash flow today. Because typically they're going to approve the loan based on the current and historical cash flow. And whatever the tax return is showing. So the good thing about being able to adjust the depreciation down, non-recurring expenses back to the bottom line, most of our lenders will work with that as long as we can show that it's a reasonable, because most lenders will take the depreciation, interest expense. These are some of the standard add backs. One-time repairs on the property, they can make an adjustment for that.
Right.
Okay, same thing with buying a business, same thing. They're going to add back the officer's salary and stuff to get a global cash flow.
Okay.
And then they'll look and see what the debt service is there. So it's primarily based on current and past performance, with the exception if you're expanding into a building.
Beautiful.
With SBA, some lenders will do what we call a projection-based loan.
Right.
What you think your future income will be as that business owner.
Okay.
Then they can make a loan against that, but good management, good experience and stuff. And that's the art of doing what we do.
Beautiful. Keith, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. That's actually, believe it or not, the end of our Winning with Wealth segment. But thank you so much for coming in. Keith McLaurin with Zion Capital and Commercial Mortgage.
Yes.
Right? It only took all hour for me to get it right. Call him today. If you're thinking about financing a bar, a business, commercial real estate, anything like that, 858-324-1951. 858-324-1951. 858-324-1951. Our causes that benefit the community is up next. We'll be right back. This is the Mike Linton Show. I'm your host, your real estate expert. Polly's on the boards. We'll be right back.
Perfect, thanks.
Beautiful. Great job, man. Great job.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
It's
so
just kind of fun.
you're welcome to hang out.